So I wanted to do this video um, talking about fear and intuition. I think there are three most powerful forces on earth in spirit is fear, love, and will. Depending on where you're at in your life and how much you have healed depends on what you operate in. At any given time, we can choose to operate in any of those three domains. Uh, However, what I want to speak about today is the importance of understanding your own fears, understanding other people's fears, understanding your intuition, and that's what I want to talk about. So, it's very important in your life to understand uh, if yourself or other people are operating in fear. Uh, when you speak about fear, it's kind of a taboo topic because usually humans don't want to admit that they have fear. You can have fear and courage at the same time exist. One just when it comes to those two existing or coexisting, you just have to have a will. Your will determines which side you drift to. So if your will drifts to fear, you're going to operate in fear. If your will is overpowering fear and you have courage, you're going to drift to that. So say that to say a lot of people operate in fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of love, even sometimes. Fear is very controlling, it's very suffocating, it suffocates you, it keeps you stagnant, especially when you go on to then project fear onto other people. When you do that, you're not only stagnating yourself and trying to control yourself, but you're doing that to others too. So which brings me to my topic of you have to understand what people are operating out of. There are a number of times in my life where it was a pivotal moment and I chose to override other people's fear, which was packaged in their advice. But I chose to override and choose from my intuition or my inner self. And I can't imagine how my life would or how choices would have turned out if I would have chose based on what they were telling me from the aspect of fear. So that's not to say I have never chosen in fear. I have definitely chosen in fear. The goal is to connect with your intuition because your intuition leads you and guides you. It's basically your inner knowing of stuff. I do believe when it comes to spirit, our intuition is connected to our spirit or God, source, whatever you want to call it. And the more that we listen to other people and take on other people's attributes, the more we don't connect to our inner self. So inner self, intuition, inwards, it all starts with in. So us facing what's within us, the more we disconnect from that, the more we're going to disconnect from our intuition. So it's very important for us to connect to our inner world. It's very important for us to be able to discern what people are saying, what people are doing, and discern what's inside of us. Once again, if we cannot discern, we can't understand where our choices are being made from. We can't understand if fear is making us choose a certain way or we're choosing because of fear, which then goes on to affect our choices later on down the line or create a choice in which there are repercussions for. So the way to get connected once again to your intuition is basically discerning. It's limiting the amount of distractions from the outer world, whether that be people, whether that be places, whether it be events, just noise. This world is a lot of noise, as I said before, and if you cannot hear your inner voice, you cannot hear your inner intuition. That's about what I have to say on that. Once again, fear is controlling, stagnation. It can exist with courage, but your will determines what side that spectrum goes to. In order to hear your inner voice, And here, your intuition, you have to block out what is not of your inner world. Uh, that may be people, that may be places, which might have be motivated by fear. Some can be motivated by love. That's not to say that people can't be motivated by love. They definitely can. Ultimately, uh, as I said, I have been led by my intuition. The more I got in contact with my intuition, the more I understood myself, the more I fell in love with myself, the more I started taking care of my inner world and my inner workings, understanding it. The more I became connected to my intuition, and which led me to be able to choose in my best interest rather than depending on somebody else to choose for me. So, uh, that's just a quick video I wanted to do. That's APF Truth.